Hey, Carlos with Exclusive Dog Training. If you saw my video on heel, you saw me used food, we did positioning, and then we also added some steps to it. But I'm here today to tell you, you don't necessarily have to add steps right away or get all crazy with it. You can also do positioning with food and then just go straight to the prong collar. So you can get a little more advanced and then just add the steps later. So what I want to give you today is, it's nothing fancy. It's just about a 3-minute clip, but it's part of an actual training session. And so enjoy. If you have any questions, just leave a comment, let me know.
A full leash, right? Treats in the same hand that you anchor it in, right? So that shake, he's doing an adrenaline release, changing in emotional states. I'm not with Day anymore, now I'm with Carlos. So bend your knees and hips. You're going back as far as you can. Look at way back there. Then left, up behind the hamstring. Feed him here. Some people feed him out to the side. That's good. Back here, it makes it more precise. You can do a little dance, go forward, come back, have him face to face with you again, right? And then back, left, behind the hamstring, right? So he already looks great. So the dance again, he's predictable. So we're gonna say before our hand moves so that he can distinguish and separate our verbal command with the lure. We're gonna say Thanos, heel. So, but before our hand moves. Otherwise, he's only focused on visual, and that's like saying, I love you. Like, what do you really see, right? So go ahead and hide it behind here this time. Thanos, heel. He's just a super brilliant dog. So, there you go. Thanos, heel. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna trip him up with my right hand and have him problem solve better. So what I mean is, I'm gonna hide my hand back here. Thanos. Yeah, good. He's super smart. So we can start using the prong collar. So go over here with him. We're still gonna reward him. Leash anchored on the left hand now. Super short. Locked about 1 foot to 18 inches from the collar. Probably be shorter for you. And then Thanos, heel, heel. Just gonna pump him into heel. Now, what if someone was to argue, he's already going into heel, why would you have to use the prong collar? But the motivation's different. Now he's doing it because he has to versus this, right? And eventually, we're just gonna want him to heel anywhere, anytime. So you wanna condition him to the prong collar to do this while he's calm, because it's easier. So let's up the ante just a little. It's that right there, right? Thanos, heel. So we can take a step back because we're kind of awkward now. Heel, 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 Thanos, free. So he still gets that same one, right? So taking a step back gives you that leverage again. So we'll do the same thing, short, locked, about 1 foot to 18 inches from the collar. Thanos, heel, already better, right? Good. So pump him back, heel, Thanos, free. So notice I freed him right when he gave me eye contact. So we're building in the eye contact within the command structure. How do we do that? We just pause and we separate Thanos from the free. Well, I better pay attention to my name. I want my freedom. Stop pressing. Thanos, heel, heel, pumps over and over again. I want him to problem solve, so I'm not just whipping him over there. Thanos, free.
So you've held on this far. Thank you. And I have some several short clips of bonus material for you if you want to go into nuances of heel positioning. It's only one thing. It's creating muscle memory, but you're also saying to the dog, don't go forward, but we're also teaching him do. The better he knows the heel, at least the positioning, the better his overall heel is gonna be. So some things to look for. Look for signals with the leash that the dog's receiving. Is that enough for the dog from the food just to get a signal on the leash to go into a heel? Does the dog not seem to be doing so great with the food, or it would take a long time and we have to go ahead and use directional pressure to really help the dog into it? Are we pumping the dog on and off pressure and almost trying to help the dog problem solve, but do it that way. Lastly, where's my hand on the leash? Is it lower down on the leash or is it higher up? Most of the time, the free hand I'm talking about, my left hand, it's going to be closer to the dog's collar. That way we're guiding his head and we have more leverage over the dog. Look at how much tension is on the leash. Is it on and off tension or is it continuous pressure? And then very lastly, does the dog seem to be getting it or not? If he doesn't get it, halfway through the positioning, does his body take over? Does the curvature of his torso, is it evident there? Most of the time you'll see it. If you're positioning a dog and he's all stiff and he's just totally not getting it, it might be beneficial just to go back to food. So,
all right, so we're already here. Now, this pup was not fully positioned. He put on the brakes and the owner directionally pulled him behind him and fixed it. Rapid fire. So now we have an Australian Shepherd. She puts on the brakes. He barely gives her the signal. She goes. Here I'm working with a pup. Learn what not to do. I talked about my hand being closer to the collar. It's too far out. But anyway, I give her a gentle pump. She fixes it. Here I'm going to tell her to heel again and watch how much better it is the next time. She's a little far back, but that's okay. This guy is being heeled from all the way on the other side of me. Enthusiasm isn't super, but he gets it. I don't always love him up or give him food immediately after, but for him I did. So there, he ends up way back there. I just gently pump him forward. This guy, little sensitive, little insecure. I gave him some little pumps there. Okay, this bulldog, pretty touch sensitive, what you would call a soft dog. This is an old video. I'm surprised I even found it. So he kind of puts on the brakes, kind of fights it. I'm patient with him, but hold him accountable. Watching the next few sequences here, his positioning just gets a little better, a little better. Notice he's starting to even move sideways. His muscle memory is picking up more. And he's resisting less. There, he just goes right into it. Beautiful. This Doberman, he's got a metal prong collar on. I'm barely touching him with it. There, he just starts going into it now. I didn't do side steps or directional side movements with him. I just kind of pumped him over, and he's a pretty brilliant dog. Pretty lazy for a Doberman, but brilliant. Okay, here we're doing come and heel muscle memory combination. Notice I look like I'm skiing. My hips, my knees, they're bent. I don't pull her behind me prematurely. My arm goes with her. I try not to have tension on the leash. See, I'm trying to get her to think. Now, because of my positioning, I can go in this awkward turn. Watch my body here. And then I pull her behind me, way back there. Here, I'm taking my time, showing that your arm should go well behind you and to the side if you want that good positioning. The lab obviously makes this look easy. You kind of lose credibility with a lab. They're pretty easy trains. Oh, here's a good example. So she's just going to lay down, and then I'm going to command her out of being laid down on the ground. So it's not like I get her attention first and then I command her. No, I'm commanding her from whatever. Well, thank you for keeping focus for so long. I hope you learned something. If you found this video helpful enough to subscribe, I would appreciate it. And until next time, it's exclusive dog training. Emma, say out.
Out.